Well, China says in-depth discussions are now underway with the United States on that Phase 1 trade deal and the potential rollback on tariffs. The Chinese Commerce Ministry once again stressed today that the lifting of these tariffs is an important condition of any interim deal. Now, that warning does follow U.S. President Donald Trump's denials since the weekend that there had been any agreement on a rollback of tariffs. And all this week, he had even threatened to raise the tariffs substantially on Chinese goods if no partial deal was made with Beijing. Now, our correspondent in Beijing is Olivia Seong. Let's catch up with her now. Olivia, is this demand on the lifting of tariffs from China's Commerce Ministry in any way a non-negotiable?
Well, this trade war between China and the U.S. has gone on for more than a year now. And if that's anything that we've learned, it's that while these negotiations are ongoing, nothing is really set in stone. And the situation remains very complex and volatile. Now, we've heard some rather contradictory remarks regarding this potential Phase 1 trade deal between the two countries. Last week, we saw China and U.S. officials both say that they have agreed to roll back tariffs on each other's goods. But then we also heard U.S. President Donald Trump deny that any such deal was made. But China today is remaining very firm and saying that this is an important condition for any agreement that is reached. And when asked about this today, China's Commerce Ministry said that deep discussion is going on between both sides about this. It also stressed and emphasized that China has repeatedly said that this trade war started because of the additional tariffs. And so for the trade war to end, China is saying that there must be a cancellation of tariffs. It also says that, if a Phase 1 agreement is reached, the degree of the rollback of these tariffs needs to reflect the importance of the deal. And this importance is something that both sides need to weigh. Have a listen.
取消加征关税，符合生产者和消费者的利益，符合中美两国利益，也符合世界利益，是双方而不是单方的利益所在。
Now, the Commerce Ministry's comments come as the Wall Street Journal has reported today that trade talks have hit a snag. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has said in the past that China has agreed to buy up to $50 billion worth of U.S. farm products, but the report suggested that China is not willing to commit to such a specific figure. Now, the report also suggested that China does not seem to be too happy with demands for there to be some sort of enforcement mechanism for a trade deal, as well as for there to be curbs on forced technology transfers. Now, these all being sticking points that have caused a snag in these negotiations in the past as well. Christine?
So, Olivia, there was more economic data released from China today, that of the industrial output, and it seems to add to a trend. Would we be out of whack by saying that these are signs of the continued impact of that trade war?
Absolutely. We have seen from the latest data that overall factory growth in China has slowed. And like you mentioned, industrial production grew 4.7% year-on-year in October. That's down from 5.8% in the previous month. And this figure is also below the expectation of analysts. Now, it does show that the trade tensions are weighing on the outlook of exports as well as on the large manufacturing sector here in China as well. Now, retail sales have also slowed down as well in October, growing at 7.2% year-on-year. Fixed asset investment also reached its slowest growth since 1998. That's when this data was started, growing by 5.2% year-on-year. And analysts say this really is showing the impact of this trade war on the Chinese economy. Given the uncertainty of this Phase 1 deal that's being talked talked about between China and the U.S., analysts are saying that this is likely to cause Chinese companies to continue to defer investments, especially if they are in the export business. But analysts are also saying that companies in other sectors could enjoy better growth. For example, if they are in the business of producing 5G equipment, even if they cannot export to other countries, they could see better growth in the export sector as well. But overall, there's still a cause for concern because we have seen in the third quarter of this year, China's economy grew by just 6%, and analysts are expecting this to continue to slow and dip below that 6% mark in the fourth quarter as well. Christine?
All right, Olivia Seong, thank you for that update in Beijing for us. We are going to have to take each day as it comes.